These unexplainable TikToks from all around the world are going to leave us speechless. Thank you, Retro, for the next couple of videos.
This man has proof that we are being spied on by technology. Watch this, y'all.
So I was looking around my room for something to test this if my TV's watching me theory. And so I've never seen a Lego commercial.
We've
ever.
all experienced
It's
this.
never been presented to me. I've seen the commercials around my son, but I've never seen ads, Lego ads or anything like that. So I played with some Legos in front of the TV. I just said the word Lego 1,000 times and was just holding it, showing it to the TV like Lego, 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 Lego. Lo and behold,
They are listening to
first
us
Lego ad.
100%, y'all.
And of course it's
Stay
Saturn.
weird.
We have some major news right now. Donald Trump has issued a threat to homeless people in Washington, D.C., telling them to leave D.C. immediately. This is ahead of his press conference tomorrow at 10 a.m., where many expect that he could ramp up pressure, potentially issue the National Guard, federalize Washington, D.C. He's doing this in the name of crime. But here's the issue. How does Donald Trump expect individuals who don't have a home and likely don't have access to Wi-Fi, don't have access to Truth Social to heed his warning? What does he mean by leave immediately? There are a lot of unknowns right now about what he plans to do with Washington, D.C., but here's what I'll tell you. I'm here in D.C. I'm going to make sure that I'll be reporting live on the ground for you all to know the truth about what happens after his press conference tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we'll see what escalatory measures he takes in the next several days. So spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, as always, linked in bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about how I'll have more soon.
That was not a hurricane. That was not a natural disaster. That was mass genocide. That was all about a land grab. That was all about gentrification. This reminds me of exactly what happened in Oscarville, Georgia, when it was flooded and they created Lake Lanier. 20 years later, and the truth is finally starting to come to the light. Everything the media told us 20 years ago was an absolute lie.
Of course.
Ryan Coogler just recently came out with a documentary regarding Hurricane Katrina, and it exposed so many things that a lot of us knew for so long. Not only that, there are so many survivors speaking out on TikTok that are sharing their stories. And when I tell you, it is gut-wrenching, it is horrifying, it is horrific. These people lived an absolute nightmare, okay? All I'm going to say is, if you have not watched this documentary, please go watch it. Follow the hashtag, y'all. These stories are so mind-blowing that I can't even put them into words right now. It is unreal, y'all. Heartbreaking. That's all I'm going to say.
Somebody had put in the comment section that they sent cameras, but they didn't send help. And then natural disasters equal planned events.
Let me tell you this. Y'all better stop thinking that black magic and voodoo don't exist in this realm, or it's just the movies or TV, because you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. I watched the Weapons movie last night, and what I got from it is the supernatural world is alive and breathing. People that do black magic are alive and breathing. That movie was some real psychological, scary shit. This is why you should never just allow anybody to come into your house. So what the preview shows you is one night at 2:17 a.m., some kids get out of their bed and they leave. 17 kids to be exact. Basically, the movie is told in like a 7-part story. 7 characters, 7 different ways, 7 things that led up to what is about to happen in the middle of the movie. But this is deeper than that. And let me tell you this. Some people is going to get on here and say it's not scary. The scary. It shows you that dark magic is alive and breathing. And I'm going to just say it that way. Mind you, I watched the movie in 4DX. So anything that was happening in the movie, rocking, shaking, you felt it all. Any type of evilness, you felt it. When the guy threw up blood in another person's face, the mist came out. You felt it. This was one of the best movies I've seen today. But here's the thing. This really has me looking sideways right now. Because listen, anybody can be walking around with that bad, negative energy, and anybody can try and pass that energy off on you. Pay attention to this. You know they be giving you real life clues in movies. And this is how it be happening.
Oh. Bro, why does this map match everything that's going on right now? And why are they buying land in the same zones? Like, how do they have a map of land that haven't even sunk yet? Oh. Yeah, they been new, bro. By 2050, most of these places gonna be underwater, bro. We are cooked. Like, bro, if this is weird, we cooked harder than them dinosaurs, bro. Bro, when Miami go underwater, just know, we cooked, literally. Like, look at Florida. Literally not a state anymore. That's broth, bro. Oh, wow. This Jean Charles, Louisiana, they already lost 98% of their land, bro. They finna take us out, chat. There's no way out of this one. Y'all don't think that's suspicious at all? Y'all don't think history is repeating itself right now?
It always does.
All I want to know is who was the that came up with this idea to sacrifice people. All you need to know is count me out. So the Miami Zoo decided to build an underwater tunnel so you can view alligators and crocodiles. And you got to be a special type of person to go through one of these tunnels, because if that start to leak, we lunch. Like, you see how that crocodile acting? One false move and that situation has become extreme. Is there a weight limit? What if the tube leaks? What if it shatters? What if him and his boys decide to come full speed at that tube? All I'm gonna say is count me out.
Bro, the federal government has no intention of saving this system. What they intend to do is privatize everything. That's why BlackRock brought up the single family homes, and they basically want to turn everything into an asset. And then they're going to tokenize all the assets. And then they're going to put all of those tokens, of course, on the blockchain. This is why you just seen the SEC talking about Project Crypto, planning to take all our stock markets and on chain. And then you got Trump talking about opening up $12.5 trillion 401k assets to crypto. And then you got in 2017, BlackRock starting to buy a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of it, which is why you saw so many new Bitcoin whale wallets get created around 2017. It wasn't old whales accumulating, it was new ones. Like, it's the reason why in phase 2 of the internet, which is web 2, where you got, where we got our Amazons and Facebooks and profiles and content creation, is the reason why in internet 2, America ran that. American artists, American internet personalities, American online businesses, yeah. They spilled a lot of blood for that. This is why y'all talked about ISO 20022 so much, XRP and all of that. It's all a part of the big plan, which is essentially to save the American economy and system from collapsing. And we know the real solution should come with change in the people and all of that. That's not going to happen. We're not going to change. Capitalism ain't going to go nowhere. The rich ain't going to start giving back. And if we ain't changing that way, then we change by doing what? Kicking the can up the street. And how do you kick the Monopoly can up the street? You just change the game a little. You kiss the same Monopoly game, but you change the pieces, the shape of them. You change boardwalk, board run or something. You get what I'm saying? You create a new system, new infrastructure.
Thank you, Mont Jones, for the video.
What happened? Your phone!
What happened?
They stuck? I'll call you back. I'll make you back. They stuck? They stuck?
The lights just went out. Thank you, Hector, for the videos.
There's footage that resurfaced from the Met Gala about someone from the royal family. What? Princess Beatrice. Okay. And people are saying she looks a little bit too much like a robot here. Almost like she's not real. You already know they have a lot of money, a lot of access to things that aren't accessible to regular people. Yeah. Theory is this was a test to see if we'd be comfortable with fake people.
That's wild.
People are saying something is a bit off here.
This girl is still like healthy and living, right? But they
Yes.
just wanted to test. Oh, that's a robot.
Something
man.
going on, right?
No human.
She could be not real.
I'm not gonna lie. She didn't blink one time. I wouldn't be shocked for them to do this because of like where they're going and where they're headed with technology and AI and ChatGPT and trying to merge. Wouldn't be surprised. But that's actually scary if that's what they're doing, because they're getting very close. And then why was she turning her? I just never seen somebody when taking pictures and they turn their head like that. Like you know, you can do like this and stuff. She said.
There's not a lot of discussion about Baal, Moloch. Where are people finding them?
The old saying is, if you look for the devil, he'll find you. The deity that was worshipped in Egypt, that the Pharaoh represented, is the deity named Atun, gods of the Gentiles or demons, Psalm 96:5. This was the great bisexual god, also known as the great master. He begets children and spits them out of his mouth, and he can change genders and can allow others to change their genders. This goes back to ancient
wild.
Egypt. He ingests his own seed and produces children out of his mouth, as opposed to God creating and begetting Adam and Eve. So you fast forward the Olympic ceremony, everybody was outraged because it was a mockery of the Last Supper. That was a representation of Dionysus.
Thank you, Scoop, for the video.
Have you heard of Microsoft's global patent number 060606? 2016, Microsoft partnered with the Gavi Alliance, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, WHO, UNICEF, World Bank, WF, and the UN to start the global initiative ID 2020. The goal? To create digital ID for everyone, with the plans to link biometric data to verify identity, a global database to monitor all humans. Think of the implications with CBDCs, passports, social credit-like systems. But how would they monitor every person? This is where Microsoft's patent comes into play. WO-2020-060606. Patent for a system where human body activates brainwaves, body heat, movement, etc., is used to mine cryptocurrency. It uses body activity as proof of work instead of traditional mining that requires massive computer power. The system would reward users with cryptocurrency when their body data meets certain conditions. If you tie ID 2020 and 060606 together, the combination could be used to track and control access to money, services, and even movement. Become a social credit system where access to cryptocurrency depends on behavior and compliance. Add in a layer of AI and automation, AI would determine who gets rewarded and who doesn't, based on your body's responses. Imagine being forced to comply to something and produce a certain brainwave condition before being able to buy or sell. Some may say, they can't do that, that's crazy, it only happens in movies. You're just trying to fear porn us. The patent number is literally 060606. I don't know what else to tell you.
If you go and look at that under 16 ban, the real guts of that is that everyone will have to prove if they're over 16 or not. That means you've got to have digital identity. So let's have a look at the digital identity bill, the identity verification bill, the misinformation and disinformation bill, the under 16 ban bill, and a digital currency. All of those were introduced or developed by the Morrison Liberal National Government. Now, if you have all of those together, what it means, Cameron, is that if you keep this podcast and you discuss again, you won't get your digital currency. They've got complete control of you through the social credit system. That's where they're trying to go. And that's a policy by the World Economic Forum and the United Nations.
You know about how like birth control's in all water now? I didn't know that. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's poisoning us that we should be like really concerned about right now. There's birth control in the water. Yeah. One, Alex Jones was right about the atrazine and what it does to frogs.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Two, there's a bunch of other stuff that's probably androgenizing us, that's not good. You know, women take hormonal birth control, then, you know, you need Yeah. How's it affect? Asexual. Yeah. So. I don't know. The way the.
Thank you, X, for the videos.
Of any military action. You know, for them, you're the great Satan, we're the little Satan. For them, we are you and you are us. And you know something, Mr. President? At least on this last point,
What do you mean by that?
I think they're right.
Stay. I've got myself a girlfriend. Wow. It's one of my girlfriends. So she has
Dude,
something
it's
to say
weird.
about it, which is...
This is my boyfriend.
I don't know if I'm going to let you watch all this. I'm going to cut
Said
it.
it, you see. Just shift up there because it looks like I've added a girlfriend to my collection, ladies and gentlemen. Is there room for both of us in here? Are you sure? Yes. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that it would appear that I've been adopted by my friend here, who has not left me alone all day and doesn't look like she's going to leave me alone all night. However...
You might ask, how did people not see the signs? But the truth is, they knew. This man was a sir, one of the king of this country's best friends. Current Prime Minister chose to turn a blind eye to allegations made about him in 2009. So yeah, they knew. I do a lot of stuff on Hollywood and elite actors and stuff, but we should never overlook what's going on in England. This is the core of the elite in this country.
Donald Trump is the last president. He's showing us that we are the currency. We don't need the system, all this illusion.
You know why? Because Donald Trump is actually a Luciferian white hat. In a Luciferian white hat, they don't take sides. They play both sides, meaning that he's basically neutral. He is also Agent 47. He's the 47th president, and he was actually the 45th president. When you look at the numerical sequence of 45 and 47, you get 9/11. So that means that the next tower moment that we're going to have is going to happen on Donald Trump's watch. We're going to see a 9/11 event in the future. It's going to happen. But you actually got 4 Donald Trumps. The real one is inside Chennai Mountain in the deep underground military bunker systems.
So he got clones. Well, everybody got clones in the industry. Huh?
Yep. He is using the restoration process as a catalyst for the next revolution. He's not doing it because he wants to. He's doing it because he has to. They're giving him access through the Intergalactic Confederation to cause the restoration process of the Republic. So that's why in the year of 2020, he signed the Second Declaration of Independence.
Exactly. Actually, I did, whenever you do a film like this where you fight Satan or the devil, you have to prepare yourself the right way. And so I did research in satanic kind of cults and stuff like that. You know, as a matter of fact, in Los Angeles right now, there's like 50,000 devil worshippers. And that's not even include, that's not even including the agents.
Yeah.
But let me
Our
tell you
crowd was
something.
too busy cheering satanic worship to hear the
exactly.
joke. That was
Sabrina Carpenter is going through hell right now. This whole thing is getting completely out of control. Another Disney star turned into Hollywood's pet. But it's not the first time. They did the same thing to Miley Cyrus, to Britney Spears, and to Christina Aguilera. Sabrina's being groomed to replace Ariana Grande because they've already squeezed everything they could out of her. All these young Disney girls go down the same road. First, they dress them up like little girls in nightgown. Then they put them next to bigger stars to ease in the next generation. They dress them up like schoolgirls and use their bodies to sell, to cash in even more. And let's not ignore the symbolism. Notice how they always dress her like a woman from the 1950s, almost like they're trying to kick off some new kind of women's revolution. And I'm really starting to wonder who's actually in control of Sabrina Carpenter's body, because who is this person? She doesn't look anything like the girl who started out on Disney. There have been a lot of rumors about beauty magic being used in Hollywood, especially with the Kardashians. Right now everyone's watching her, everyone's talking about Sabrina, and that's not random. So yeah, I'm really wondering how long this whole act can last, and how long Sabrina Carpenter's avatar can survive being Hollywood's little pet before she breaks. Because going from that to this, it's way too extreme to be natural.
If you recognize who Drewski is, it's because someone owns him. How do you think he met Drake, Justin Bieber, Jack Harlow, Little Yachty? He has no talent. Drewski is owned by Johnny Shapiro, the same guy that manages these black people. T-Pain, Big Crit, Nipsey Hussle, Flip De Niro. Johnny Shapiro changed his last name from Shapiro to Shipes. Drewski's talent manager was Drew Friedman. This guy managed T-Pain, Joey, and Big Chris. If you can guess what these managers have in common, you can guess why Drewski is famous, and why Drewski never did a collab with me.
If you was one of the richest men in the world, what would you have catered for your wedding day?
That's wild.
Lobster, steak, caviar. How about some pizza? Well, that's what Jeff, most famous for putting your parcel in a stinky bin and not knocking on the door, decided to have. Because as you know, him and his elite buddies just love pizza. In fact, all the elites love pizza. The wedding cost over £40 million.
40
and they
million?
decided to just grab a slice of pizza.
40 million?
After all, they were in Italy. And guess the names of some of his elite friends who turned up for a delicious slice of pizza. Bill Gates, Usher, Mr. Baby Oil's friend, Katy Perry, the newfound astronaut, Kim Kardashian, Oprah Winfrey. And if there's one thing we can learn from this, it doesn't matter how rich you are, we all love a good slice of pizza. I mean, I'd love to know what else they got up to, but we never will know that, will we?
That really makes you think. We have reacted to so many videos where we know the word pizza is being like a code word for, y'all know. This man is rich, and out of all things to eat, y'all chose pizza? They just telling you the truth. Like, they just put it, they don't care no more. These are all of Retro's videos, so I haven't shouted nobody out in a minute because he's been going in. So thank you, Retro, for these videos.
Okay, so here I am going down the Vatican rabbit hole again, and I ended up looking at the Black Eye Club, which I already talked about, but then I slid over to the Red Shoe Club, and when I say my mind is blown, because why are there so many celebrities, so many people in power that have worn red shoes, specifically in groups, even religious organizations? And when you look at the symbolism behind it, when you look at certain movie titles, even like this one movie called The Man with One Red Shoe, and that specific actor, I don't even want to say the name, go ahead and look it up, but if you know, you know, has an IG page. And as somebody who's traveled in the states, 46 states alone, right, I've toured so many big cities. I myself have never seen so many random socks, shoes, gloves, just things like that. And as somebody who like took time, who's out here just photographing these specific things? Looking back to his post from even like 2018, you're just like, something feels very sketchy. It feels almost like elusive, like you're trying to show the truth in plain sight, like you're affiliated with these things that you're posting, but this is all alleged. But back to the Red Shoe Club, when I tell y'all, there have been so many people, and they say that it's cultish, and when you look at what the symbolism in fact represents, it is jarring, it is mind-boggling, and it makes you want to pray that it's not real. But in the world of these lists not being revealed and all of the names that have been put on these PJs, these islands, all of these things, it really makes you question what's what, because nothing is impossible at this point. Let me know if you've ever looked in the Red Shoe Club. If you haven't, save this video, go look into it. Per usual, this is all alleged, can't confirm or deny any of it, it's all hypothetical. But come back and share your thoughts. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back with more updates. Make sure you like, follow, stay for some more tea.
The Statue of Liberty, it's holding the torch of illumination, which is the Promethean torch of Freemasonry. And if you go to the Statue of Liberty, you'll see a bronze plaque inside saying that this was given to the government of America by the French Grand Orient Temple Masons. And it is a symbol of Grand Orient Freemasonry in America, the holder of the light. And that's exactly the same torch that is carried during the Olympics. On the back of the old dime in America, there was the fasci, which you look in the encyclopedia or dictionary and look at the word fascism, you'll see that the symbol for world fascism was a bundle of sticks with a hatchet head.
You see that on each side of the speaker's podium at Congress.
Oh, absolutely.
So they have the fasci on each side.
Absolutely, and it's also the symbol for the United States Senate is the fasci. But the point I want to make is that that was on the old dime. Now on the new dimes, you will see a torch instead of the old fasci, because fascism was used at one time to prepare the world for the New World Order. Now the New World Order is in place. That's why on the dollar bill it says Novus Ordo Seclorum is New Order of the World, but at the top of the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill is Annuit Coeptus, which means our enterprise or our project has been crowned with success.
Whitney Houston didn't die. She was sacrificed in a ritual. On the night of February 11th, 2012, Whitney was found submerged in the bathtub of Suite 434 at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. But those who saw the scene say It didn't look like an accident. The room was dark, with melted candles arranged in a circle on the carpet, forming a pattern resembling an ancient seal. A mirror covered with a black cloth occupied the central wall, a symbol of transition between worlds, according to occultists. Hours earlier, staff heard Whitney screaming in the hallway, "They're coming! They want my voice!" The official report says accidental drowning worsened by substance use, but there are questions that were never answered. Why was the body left untouched for over 5 hours? Why was the medical team blocked by record label security? And why, on the same floor, did the Grammy after party, filled with industry elites, continue with laughter, clinking glasses, and loud music while Whitney lay dead just a few steps away? Some hotel workers swear they heard a second voice whispering from the bathroom. Deep and low, the contract has been sealed. 2 years later, the mirror of tragedy reflects again. Her daughter, Bobby Christina, is found the same way. Bathtub, unconscious, same pattern. She dies months later, and the autopsy offers no clear explanation. Leaked photos from the suite show details erased from official records. Blood on the edge of the tub, an ancient symbol drawn on the fogged mirror, a cassette tape floating in the water, unlabeled. Theorists claim Whitney knew too much, that she tried to break the pact, and paid the price, because at the top of fame, no one dies by accident. They say the industry doesn't kill, it harvests.
Someone has said, I don't know if it's true, but they were saying how her sister says she would never take a bath in a hotel. And then they keep mentioning Clive Davis. Who's Clive Davis? Yeah, I keep saying Clive Davis. I will look it up, but I'll look it up later. Yeah, they keep saying Clive Davis and Ray J.
What is this? Nah, I'm done. Apple got us up. They really think we stupid. They be
do.
playing right in our face.
All the time.
Year in and year out. The same phone.
Yeah.
Every single year.
Yes.
Y'all, look at this. What the did they change?
Nothing. The camera.
Why we keep getting the same phone for more money? You can't make this, y'all. They really took the little things on the side, the little lights, from right here, and they put it on the right side. Bruh, it's hurting me, y'all. I'm really about to say this, and I never thought I would say this. I have been thinking it, but each year I'm like, iPhone is about to get better, and they always let me down. So now, I think I might have to go to Galaxy, y'all. Is that the new wave? Is that the new trend? I don't want to pay $1,500 for the same phone, bruh. I've been doing it for the last couple years. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not doing it no more. It's either I'm going to keep this 16 that I got, or I'm going over to Galaxy. I need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Am I tripping the way I feel? Or do y'all feel the same way as me?
11.
This is criminal. We can't keep letting them get away with this shit. The colors. I want a whole new design. I want my iPhone to start making food.
At this point,
So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Are y'all buying this junk? Are you keeping your same iPhone? Or are you...
Yeah, a college teacher put me on game years ago. I think it was my sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken. But she was like, all they're doing is selling you the same iPhone just with another number. And when she said, I don't know why, I looked at life different. Literally, since that day that she said it, I just was like, oh yeah, I'm not buying nothing until I need to. Because at this point, you're buying the same phone. It's just that they keep changing this around. It's the same thing. Or they added a button. I'm not gonna lie, when Steve Jobs was here, he used to make this look different. Like the iPhones, when they would come out every year, I'm not gonna lie, they did look different. But when he passed, the phones I ain't gonna cap. It's like they ran out of ideas. So they're just like, hey, let's just take the camera and place it over here, over here, over here, over here. So yeah, I'm still with iPhone 11. Eventually I'm gonna upgrade because I kind of have to, because like I'm really on that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm also on the, if there's nothing wrong with it, then keep it. But now it's getting to a point where I actually have to upgrade. But I ain't gonna lie, I want the flip phone iPhone if it ever come out. But if it doesn't, I'll be getting like an iPhone. I'm not gonna say soon, but soon. So yeah, when I realized that they were selling the same phone and that they just kept changing the camera, I said, I'm keeping this. It's no point of me changing, no point. But I have a question. Which one are you? Are you team Samsung or are you team iPhone? Because realistically, I know you see me with an iPhone, but I'm actually team both. I know that sounds crazy. I actually started off with an with a Samsung before I ever got onto iPhone.
How'd you like to know the whole truth about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, there is one man who knows it all, everything there is to know. I'll give you his name, and I'll look at some fishy stuff going on in D.C. I'll keep it simple. And if you're a fan of simple, follow America the Possible. Give us a like. Share this video. Spread the word. Okay, his name is Alexander Acosta, and he was the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida during the first Epstein investigation. Now, Acosta has seen all the evidence, all the files, all the names, all the lists, all the dirt. Now, the House Oversight Committee, supposedly in search of the truth, has subpoenaed one former president, one former Secretary of State, 7 former attorneys general, 2 former FBI directors, and Epstein's convicted co-conspirator. Everyone, except for the one man who knows the truth, Alexander Acosta. Now, is that an innocent oversight on the part of the Oversight Committee? Or are we looking at a cover-up here?
Mm-hmm.
We cannot let this one go by, people. Government transparency is not an option. It's an essential to a functioning democracy. So waste no time. Get hold of the people you elected and remind them that doing nothing here is not an option either.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in? I'll go first.
That the Milwaukee cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer killed 6-year-old Adam Walsh. Let's get to the evidence. Y'all know the story we've been told. 6-year-old
What?
Adam Walsh, son of America's Most Wanted host John Walsh, was abducted from a Sears in Hollywood, Florida in 1981. 2 weeks later, his severed head was found in a canal nearby. Unfortunately, the rest of his body would never be found. Just a couple years later, a self-proclaimed serial killer with a low IQ and a habit of confessing to things that he didn't do, Otis Toole, would claim that he was the one who unalived Adam Walsh. Interestingly enough, Otis had a boyfriend named Henry Lee Lucas who has a Netflix special called The Confession Killer because this man also loved to confess to crimes that he didn't do in exchange for burgers and fries. And in the same manner, shortly after a TV special aired in 1983 about Adam's disappearance, detailing all evidence that they had so far, Otis wrote a confession letter to John and Reve Walsh saying he could give them the rest of their son's body, if they sent him money. He never could find where the rest of Adam was. Jeffrey Dahmer, unlike Otis Toole, was spotted in that Sears in Hollywood, Florida on the very day that Adam disappeared on July 27th, 1981, and he was spotted in the exact toy department that Adam was last seen in. Several witnesses mentioned seeing a tall man in army fatigues. Dahmer had just been discharged from the military for his alcoholisms and possible essaying of other men. And during that time, he had gone to Miami Beach to get away, which was just 21 miles away from that mall that Adam disappeared in. Bill Bowen, a television producer at the time, said he was about to enter that mall that day when he heard a loud altercation happening beside a blue van. He said that he saw a disheveled man holding a boy by the arm in the air. The boy yelled, "I'm not going, I don't want to go," and the man screamed, "Yes, you are," and then threw the boy in the van, jumped in, sped away. Police don't dispute that these witnesses have come forward, although their statements don't exist in evidence, and this case was so poorly mismanaged. Now, as we know, 10 years later in 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested in Wisconsin for murdering 17 people. 600 miles apart, both witnesses that had seen Dahmer in that mall in Hollywood, Florida, the day that Adam Walsh disappeared, saw his picture in the paper and said, "That's him," and they called the Hollywood, Florida police to report that the man they had seen 10 years ago was in fact Jeffrey Dahmer. And that blue van that had been spotted, Dahmer had access to a blue van. He worked at a sub shop at the time, and that was used for delivery. That van was spotted nearby the canal where Adam's head would be found later. Not to mention the police sketch from witnesses at the time shares an odd resemblance to a young Jeffrey Dahmer. And the MO sadly fits. Adam Walsh was decapitated, and he possibly was kept in a vehicle until his head was thrown. Jeffrey Dahmer, as we know, likes to dismember his victims and keep parts of them. Now, oddly enough, Hollywood police would never investigate Dahmer for Adam Walsh's disappearance. However, Dahmer was asked about Adam. At the behest of the Walshes, Detective Perkyy asked Dahmer if he had anything to do with Adam's disappearance, and he denied it. But that denial didn't ring true to the detective, so he asked Dahmer again, who responded, "Honest to God, Neil, I didn't do it." But then he added words that still haunt the detective to this day. He said, "You know, Neil, anyone who killed Adam Walsh could not live in any prison ever." The youngest of Dahmer's victims reportedly was 14. Yes, Dahmer was very open about his crimes, what we know about it, but I definitely think Adam's age would stop him from confessing to having any involvement in that. So either all of this is just a wild coincidence, or perhaps things are exactly as they seem. Let me know what you think. And for more deep dives, make sure you're following Betty Jane.
That story, I remember my dad told me about it. It used to scare me, and that's the reason why we've been raised on You can't just be walking around or just going to restrooms or whatever the case is by yourself because of things like that when that little boy died. I'm not bringing that up because of that. I am, but I'm not. But what happened was I was looking in the comment section and they were saying that Adam Walsh was sacrificed so his dad could be famous. They said once this little boy died, his father's fame like went up. I don't know. All I'm saying is that people are saying that once his son died, he got rich. They were saying that Adam was John's sacrifice.
Hi friends. So do you remember a couple years ago when Millie Bobby Brown came out and said that she had a close friendship with Drake? She shared that they texted often and told each other that they missed each other and talked about boys. A lot of people thought this was an innocent friendship and nothing to be concerned about, while the other half of people were rightfully concerned. And let me tell you why. History always has a funny way of repeating itself, especially when it comes to the men in Hollywood. Here's a few examples. Let's take it all the way back to 1919, old school Hollywood. One of the most celebrated movie stars of all time, Charlie Chaplin, at the age of 29, married his wife, 16-year-old Mildred Harris. That marriage only lasted for 2 years, but Charlie went on to repeat his pattern with 16-year-old Lita Gray. Lita was 6 when she met Charlie, and he began taking her out on dates when she was 12.
Nope.
Moving on to 1954. Sam meets 12-year-old Aretha Franklin and brings her to his hotel room. Before Aretha's father could interrupt the interaction, she said the conversation with Sam took a very inappropriate turn. In 1957, 23-year-old Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin Myra Brown. She still believed in Santa. In 1959, 25-year-old Elvis Presley began dating 14-year-old Priscilla Wagner. They were married a few years later. Elvis has been reported to having a predilection to 14-year-old girls before and after his marriage to Priscilla. In 1973, married singer Marvin Gaye met and pursued 17-year-old Janice Hunter. He wrote his hit song Let's Get It On as a tribute of his lust to her. Within a year, she was pregnant with his baby.
Thank you, Ice, for the video.
I have just gotten a legal complaint from Roblox. I'm not even joking. They have sent a cease and desist letter to me, and they've gone ahead and banned every account I own. And you might be wondering, what heinous crime did you commit to possibly deserve that? Well, what I did was get predators arrested on their platform. Actually, 6 of them. I got 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community. Some of them, the crimes are so heinous, I can't even say here on TikTok or wherever this is going. And the thing that's crazy about it is that Roblox has taken a more firm action against me, a person getting these people arrested, a person that law enforcement has made public statements saying that they are glad when people like me go ahead and give them information so that they can arrest these people. Right. Roblox has sent me the cease and desist letter, not these predators. That is absolutely insane. And the other thing that's crazy about this is Roblox itself. It is a predator haven. There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. It has about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids. That is the whole game. If you join it, you're going to see predators, you're going to see naked avatars, you're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this, and it's so sad. I get emails from kids daily about all the horrible stuff that they're exposed to. I get emails from parents talking about what their kids were exposed to. And there are so many predators on this platform. It is actually unreal. So it's quite crazy to see Roblox go after me, a person trying to get predators arrested off of their platform, than the predators. Why? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Thank you, sir, for the video.
There's a lot of videos going around with wildlife leaving their inhabitants and going towards the city. But this right here, brothers and sisters, have been long ago foretold of, and it's written in scripture. Barak Shalom Mishpaka. I greet you, brothers and sisters, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Baruch Bahashem Yahuwah. Blessed be the name of Yahuwah. Now, I know most of you would have been seeing a lot of videos going around with wildlife leaving their inhabitants and coming towards the city. Also, volcano eruptions in different places. Well, this is all being prophesied in the book of 2nd Esdras. This was long ago foretold of through prophet Esdras. Yahuwah was showing Esdras visions, and he was telling him things that's going to unfold in the last days. And we are actually living through these times. We are seeing these events being unfolded right in front of our eyes. Right. Now, I'll show you what is written also. Now, let me show you what is written in the book of Esdras. Now, I'll be reading from 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 8. It reads, "There shall be chaos also in many places, and fire shall often break out. And wild beasts shall roam behind their hunts. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." The book of 2nd Esdras also speaks about birds leaving their inhabitants also. But I did not make note of that. I was actually listening to the audiobook 2 days ago. And yesterday I started seeing a lot of videos circulating with bears, deers, a lot of animals are leaving their inhabitants and they're going towards the city. And I remember that I heard about this just a day before. And I was going to make a video yesterday about this. But Yahuwah said, not yet. He told me to wait. He told me to wait. And it's this morning that I actually heard about those volcanoes that erupted. And I was like, that's why Yahuwah wanted me to wait. His message was not yet complete. Now, guys, brothers and sisters in Hamashiach, this is a time to get right with Yahuwah. You need to start dwelling on his words. Hallelujah. Meditate on his words day and night.
And that's not the part.
It's important. We need to have a relationship with Yahuwah, and that only comes through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Messiah. I am preaching repentance. Repentance. Not only repentance, but we need to be a part of that covenant. We need to be on the narrow path. Not Christianity, but covenant. Covenant with Yahuwah. You need to become Yasharal.
Probably,
that's the only way. Shalom.
Lovely video to end it on, because we had just, well, I'm so behind on videos. So by the time y'all see this video, the video it's already up. But we had just reacted to the bears leaving Yellowstone. But then I know you guys said that that was AI, but it's really stuff coming out about these animals leaving like their natural home because they know. Animals be knowing. That's why if you watch the movies, I don't bring up movies. Like when stuff happens, y'all see them birds leave. When I see a bunch of birds, something's wrong. So it's just, it be stuff to think about when it comes to stuff like that. But I think I love that video and love to end it on there. Yahuwah speaks through everything, including, especially his creation, especially his animals. So you can get a message out of everything that he's created because he is everything and he's made all things. So therefore you can get a message out of everything. So I love it. I love it. I love it. But she said it best. Get right. I know she didn't say this part, but I'm at it. Before you get left. What is it? Revelations 18:4 is to come out of her, my people, unless you be partakers in her sin. So it's stuff like that, to meditate on and to think about. But very, very great video to end it on. I learned more information than being able to speak on it. But it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes I'm learning information or I'm seeing videos where I'm like, oh, either I didn't know that or either there's something to comment on or, whatever the case is. So we're just learning as we go. Some videos I'm quiet, some videos I'm talking, some videos is a mixture. This one was a quiet one. But let me know which one was your favorite video. Let me know which one was interesting to you. I think the one that was interesting to me was... the Jeffrey Dahmer one was kind of interesting. The one with the dude with the children, I'm like, what is that? I never heard of him or seen him, so I don't know who that guy was. But we had a couple of interesting videos in here, so let me know which one was your favorite if you learned something new. Also, the iPhone one was funny, so I'll say that too. But I truly love and appreciate these videos. Again, thank you to all that sent in videos. I know the last couple of videos were retros, so thank you so much for sending in videos. If you want your video featured on here along with the shout out, I know it sounds like my voice is gone. It might be. But join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. That is how I see the videos. You'll go to like my section that says YouTube. It's a part that says conspiracy theories reaction. You'll add your videos there and that's how I see them and how I react to them and how they're up on the big screen. So thank you to all those in advance that have been sending videos, that are now joining the Discord, that have been in the Discord. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. I want to say Thank you to those that have been shopping merch. ShopPerkyy.com. Link is in the description down below. Yo, we have some stuff. We got sweatpants, zip-up hoodies, hoodies, t-shirts, crew necks. We got some stuff on there. Make sure to go check it out. Link is in the description down below. Again, ShopPerkyy.com. When you buy from me, all I ask is that you take a picture, send it to me so I can feature you on the website along with the shout out. So thank you so much. I do want to say that we are on the road to 900,000 people. I give all kabod, all praise, and all esteem to my Saba Yahuwah Alua and my Abba, my Adoni, Yahushua HaMashiach, the same names that woman spoke in that last video. That is who I give all my kabod and all my esteem to, because it's nothing that I'm doing. It's them operating in and through me. Again, I'm just an empty vessel that they work in and through, so I have to give credit and honor where it's due, and I'm a steward over what they rightfully own. So I just love to let that be known. And if I'm gonna boast, I'm gonna let it be in Yahuwah. Not gonna boast in myself. So hallelujah. But that is all for today's video. For this one, I'm about to react to some more. So y'all have a blessed one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul.